With the recent shocking accusation levied against Choi Minhwan, in this video we'll be taking a look at his marriage, his shocking divorce, and what led to his ex-wife, the former K-pop idol Yulhee, to expose him on YouTube and potentially ruin his career. It all started a couple of days back when it was announced that Yulhee would be making a guest appearance on a variety show. On October 22 episode of TV choices Now I'm Alone, Yulhee shared her story 2 years after starting the second chapter of her life following her shocking divorce. When asked when she felt a crisis in her marriage first, Yulhee said,
"I didn't feel it, so it came to me very suddenly. For me, most of my memories are of happiness. I never felt like a crisis was coming, but once I became aware of it, it felt like I was living in my own personal hell."
Regarding the courage needed to bring up the topic of the divorce, she revealed,
"I wasn't the one who brought it up, so I don't really know."
This point in particular gained massive attention among fans and K-netizens alike, since many were surprised to learn that Minhwan brought it up first and that she says she was blindsided by the divorce. She also revealed that she is not being with her kids was probably the hardest decision she had to make. Relatively speaking, during the show, Yulhee hasn't said much about Minhwan himself that paints him particularly in any negative light. Among netizens, the general public opinion was that Yulhee should not bring up their divorce in a variety show appearance, and she was criticized for that specifically. To note, in the past, when the divorce news came out, many were surprised that the kids ended up with Minhwan, which was among the reasons why Yulhee became the center of a lot of negative comments that targeted her for, quote, giving up on her kids. She's been suffering from malicious comments ever since the divorce announcement a while back, while Minhwan was painted as the good father. Only a day after that, the infamous YouTuber/reporter jinho uploaded a shocking video. The video was titled, "Exclusive Shocker: What Happened to Child Support? Yulhee and Choi Minhwan's Hellish Divorce Story." In this video, he paints Yulhee as the bad person who contributed to the end of the marriage. So to summarize, in the video, he claims that Yulhee had insisted on sending the kids to an elite kindergarten, ballet classes, English academics that were 3 hours round trip, spending roughly around 8 million won, which is around 6,000 USD monthly on education. The YouTuber then alleges that Yulhee had a nocturnal lifestyle, which caused Choi Minhwan and his family to handle the children drop-offs and pickups. The YouTuber then alleges that Yulhee ran away for 4 to 5 days before an FT Island concert, which led to their divorce announcement, and that there was no child support or any division of assets, meaning she walked away without anything. Because of his video, the criticism against Yulhee reached an unprecedented volume, and many were saying a lot of negative things about the idol. So it appears that this video tipped over Yulhee and made her upload the famous video, now exposing her ex-husband, explaining her side of the story, and making some serious shocking allegations against him.
저는 생각보다 눈물이 많이 안 나더라고요. 되게 그 방송.
So mere 2 days later, on October 25, Yulhee uploaded a 37-minute video. In the video, she addressed the hate comments that she received and said,
"I wondered why so many people were speaking harshly to me, so I tried to see myself from a third-person perspective. There were times I felt upset and depressed, and I often thought, should I just tell the whole story? Divorce was a decision I made for myself, and everything else was for the kids. We decided everything through conversations, and it ended with an amicable divorce. I didn't see the need to bring up who was at fault."
In response to the jinho video, Yulhee clarified the situation.
"The English kindergarten was mutually agreed upon, and it was a place my child attended happily. It wasn't far at all. Who would send their child 1.5 hours away? It was exhausting for me too. I believe in the principle that a mother should be comfortable for the children to be happy. As for the education expenses, it was not something I forced. My ex-husband and I agreed that we could both handle the costs."
Yulhee then dropped a bombshell accusation and said that Choi Minhwan had frequented entertainment establishments and even sexually harassed her in front of his parents. She explained the situation in which this happened.
"About a year before the divorce, there was a major incident. After that, our marriage changed completely. I could handle the struggles of raising children and living in a large family, but after that incident, I didn't want to stay at home or face the family. Before I found out about the incident at the establishment, we were drinking with the family. My mother-in-law was washing dishes, and I was sitting with my ex-husband. Out of nowhere, he folded a bill in half and tucked it into the collar of my blouse. It was a habit of his. Later, even with my father and mother-in-law present, he grabbed. At the time, I thought it was just his way of showing affection because he was drunk.
To add to the shock of the video, she shared multiple video recordings which allegedly features Choi Minhwan involvement in visiting the entertainment establishment and asking for girls. There were many recordings featured in the video where Choi Minhwan and an acquaintance, which is referred to as A, have conversation about these places. He is heard asking the following.
They say there aren't any girls at Adrers, and the wait list is really long. He also requested for race. I sneaked out, so please reserve Tibutso Register for me. I'm alone now, but someone might join me. Let them know to treat us well.
나 문자 하나 남겨놓을게. 형 좀 잘해달라고 얘기 좀 해줘요. 알았어. 알겠어. 고마워요. 미나마. 네, 형 들어왔어요. 4명이라던데? 4명. 난 담당이 누구예요, 근데?
Minhwan also used specialized terms, asking questions as, if I go to a shirt room, will there be girls? Is TC the same? At 10, do they rotate right? Despite the man on the other end advising him to go home and not to go to random places, Minhwan replies with, I won't go home. I really want to drink and to have fun. Following the shocking video, FNC Entertainment, which houses Choi Minhwan, said in a shocking statement the following.
Choi Minhwan feels a deep sense of responsibility for disappointing the public and viewers, and he intends to suspend all media activities, including the broadcast with his children. It is difficult for us to fully grasp the specifics of issues related to their marital matters, and we apologize for the discomfort and concern caused to many people.
After that, it was revealed that Minhwan will also be leaving The Return of Superman. And it is to be noted that in the original video that Yulhee had released, she said that they agreed that they would not feature the kids on TV shows, but he did not commit to their promise, as you can see that he came back to appear on the show with his kids without his wife. Due to the fallout, various venues, performances, and such were disrupted by the allegations that were made against Minhwan. And because his band had a concert last night on October 26 in Taiwan, it was decided that he'd end up performing backstage and will not be showing his face to the crowd. Then it was reported that FT Island will bring a drummer that can do sessions in the concerts that the band has slated to do in the near future, meaning that Minhwan will not be featured in future concerts and that the concert last night was probably his last with his band for the foreseeable future. To make matters worse for Minhwan, the Gangnam police station in Seoul announced they have launched a preliminary investigation into him and an intermediary identified as A on charges of violating the Prostitution Punishment Act. This investigation is the stage before a formal inquiry, which is initiated based on citizens' complaints that were filed through the National People Petition. This requested a thorough investigation into Choi and the man in the calls, which calls for strict punishment if the charges are substantiated. Thus far, this is all we have on the developing story. FNC's response has garnered intense backlash from the general public, and the agency does not even attempt to disprove the rumors, raised a lot of eyebrows among fans. With Choi Minhwan's livelihood on the line, many are wondering what his next step will be and whether he'll be able to continue promoting with his band or not. Added to that, there was this recent back and forth between Lee Hong-ki and fans, in which Lee Hong-ki defends Minhwan, but we'll leave links to that argument and to that entire situation in the description box so you can read it if you're curious. If you made it thus far, we thank you for watching and let me know what your thoughts on the allegations of Minhwan are. Did they shock you or not?